welcome you to this tutorial. So briefly today we're going to look at Pixellab, and we're going to look at some of the tools in Pixellab, or if time permits we can look at all of them. Pixellab has a lot of things in store, so it's quite enormous. 3 days might not be enough to finish this, but since it's just kind of an introduction, I'm just going to try to make it as brief as possible. So guys, let's start from the top to the bottom. So you see this plus sign up here. Let me enable this my brush so that I can show you all you need to see. So this plus sign here. Alright, so I'm just going to tap on it. You see a lot of options: text, current date. So with this you can input your text. Edit it. Let's say we write graphic design. Okay, so that's that. You can put the current date. Today is October 25th 2022. So sticker. This sticker is very useful to me personally. I use it to create my custom shadows. I use it to add let's say a tone to a picture, because you can change its color. But one thing is that once you click on this plus sign here, the sticker disappears. So you don't click on this plus sign once you select this particular sticker. You just tap on your background and it disappears, but in the layer you see it there. So to give it a color, you can just go to this place, give it a color. So there it is. Alright, that's it for this sticker. There are other stickers here. So this Pixellab that I'm using is not on Play Store. The one you find on Play Store has a green background. There's nothing much, no much difference between the two. It's just that this one I have comes with inbuilt fonts, but though they are still not enough, you still have to download fonts. Also, this one has no ad. That one on Play Store, when you want to save your work, you see some ads popping up, so that could be irritating. So these are some of the stickers we have here. 100%. So you can use any of these stickers for your design. This may not be in that green one too. Okay, that's another thing. That's Pixellab in Play Store. You may not have these ones, these stickers there. Okay, so you can go to this other section and see more stickers. You can use this to create a school badge. Then you have emojis here. You can use any of these for your designs. So that's it for the stickers. Okay, I'm just going to delete all of this. So here we have shapes. We have all types of shapes: square, circle, hemisphere, then arrow, and so on and so forth. So you select any of them, then you go down to give it a color, any color of your choice. Then for this you have a stroke width, stroke for this shape you selected. You can also give the stroke width a color. But then you have this blur radius here. You want to create let's say a neon effect, and give it a little blur as such. So that's it for the shape. So this shape option, I'll call this this plus sign, I'll just say it's more of a shortcut, because most of the things we have there, some of them the options are still down below. So for this shape now, if you come right here, you still see shapes. So there's two shape option here if you don't want to go over, if you don't want to go to this one on the top. Alright, so let's go to the next icon there. Okay, this folder here, this looks more like a save folder, external disk, and that's what it does. Once you click on this, it gives you the option of save as project or save as image. So you can either save your work as a project or as an image. If you click save as project, you have to give it the project a name. Click on OK, it saves it, so that when you go to your projects, you can see the work you've saved over there. So that's it. If you click on save as image, it takes you to this place where you can select the image format, the quality. If you want this to be as JPEG or PNG, the quality, you can select default, custom, low, medium, but I usually select ultra, especially if you want to print your design. You need to select ultra so that your work will be very clear. So that's it. You can save to gallery. You can share this also to any social media. So let's continue. Let's go to the next icon here. This next icon here, the share icon. Okay, I'll just click on that. It does almost the same thing as the previous icon. It's just that this goes straight to either save to your gallery or to share. It doesn't give you the option of saving this as a project. Right, so the next there is this quote icon. When you click on that, it brings out a lot of quotes for you. A lot of quotes. You can go through them. It has English, it can come in French. Okay, so you can go through that on your own. So with that, you can add quotes to your design if you like any of them. So let's go over to the next icon there, this one. Okay, when you click on that, click on that, it brings us a lot of options for you. You can use image from your gallery. When you click on that, it goes straight to your gallery to bring an image. Let me import what you just used. So this is the image you just saved. It brings it out for you. Okay. Let me go to the layer, select it. So this is the design we saved when I was illustrating the save option. Don't mind this shape. For this shape, the outline is not complete. There are a lot of issues with this shape. Even when you want to reduce the opacity to just make it a stroke, it doesn't come out fine. So but back to what we were discussing. So I got this image from my gallery. By pressing here, you can put this on full screen. You can go back, and you can use image from your camera. You can snap something directly and use it on Pixellab. So you can export your image. It's the same thing I've shown you before. Also, you can change your image size. There are different sizes for images here. You can use a square, which is what we're currently using. You can change this to YouTube channel banner, YouTube thumbnail, which I use for my YouTube thumbnails. So this is the size. You can change it to Facebook cover art, Google Plus cover photo, and so on. You can come here and by yourself you edit this. You can change the width and the height by yourself, like so. So I'm going to okay. Let me just go here and take it back. Okay. Yeah. So let's go back to the image size. Put it on square. I'm going to delete this. Delete. Then Back to here, we have contact me, contact the developer of this app. Then you have some tutorials. When you click on this, it takes you to YouTube. So I'm not going to click on that. It takes you to YouTube, where you will find a lot of tutorials on Pixellab. So on this note, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe so that apart from this class you need to improve, you can learn more from that tutorial. Alright, you have recover autosave. Here you can recover a lot of works you've done previously. So these are some of the works I've done previously. If I click on one to bring out what I've been working on. Okay, this is just what we just did. Okay, so you have open.php file. PHP files are Pixellab projects. Let's say I designed this, or maybe someone else designed something in a different phone, and I want to edit it. I can have the PHP file from the person, come here over in my phone and edit it, just like Photoshop documents. When you download a PSD file, you can easily edit it in your laptop if you have Photoshop. Likewise in Pixellab, once you have the app and you have a PHP file, you can edit it. So we have about, if you want to know more about this Pixellab ID. Exit. We don't want to exit, so let's stay here. I'm going to delete this. Delete. So guys, let's go to this other, is this place. So that's the undo button. Let's say I typed something. Let's bring one of the quotes, click on it, and I don't want it anymore. I can either delete it or I click on undo. Alright, so even if it's not about typing, for shifting this from here to here, I can click undo, it goes back, undo, it goes up. So the next in line there is this magnifying lens, the zoom option, this one. So you use that to zoom your work. When you click on it, then you drag your work with your 2 fingers on your smartphone. You can enlarge and reduce. So let's just bring the shape here so that you can see what we're doing. So with this zoom on, I can increase this, increase, reduce. So I cannot do any work on this surface unless I go and click it again. Then I can work on this surface. So you click on the zoom, go back. So this zoom feature is very essential when you want to see little details of your design. You can zoom them in, or if your detail is so tiny that if you're moving it, it's problematic. If you want to really see how properly aligned it is, you can zoom in, you can zoom out. Also, in making some logos, you need to zoom in and zoom out. Right. So the next in line is this grid. The grid lines, they are like rulers, they guide you in your design. If you look down here, you see this. Okay, let me select my marker. See this like horseshoe. It's a magnet, horseshoe magnet. Types of magnets in school. So if you click on that, it's selected, so it helps to guide your ruler. Assuming I want to move this shape, you see that red line that is coming up. So the magnet is guiding me, telling me when my shape is properly placed, it is properly aligned relative to other shapes or other stops. So it's like a guide helping me to fix my work properly. Excuse me. Okay, that's it for the magnet. If you click on the next icon beside it, this is the setting for the grid. So you can either add a grid, a vertical grid line. See, I've added one here by clicking on this vertical plus icon, or you add a horizontal line by clicking on the horizontal plus icon, or you can delete grids. You can also position your grids relative to one. When you select a particular grid, like this is selected, then you come here, position is relative to other grids, or you can do that manually. Okay, for this icon here, when you click on that, it takes you, you can adjust the number of grids you have, grid lines you have, or you can write let's say 56. So it brings out the number of grid lines for you for more precision in your design. Most times we use these grid lines for making logos. You can also use them to make sure your typography is properly aligned, or the elements you used in your design. So it's a very essential tool. Okay, so the next there is this layer. This is the layer icon. When you click on that, it brings out the layers of work you've done. Let me select one of my designs. This one I used for this tutorial. Wait for it. Okay, so this is it. When you click on the layer, it brings out a lot of layers for you. Once you select anything on Pixellab, it creates it as a layer. So this is what a layer looks like. You can hide some elements with this eye here. You can delete, then undo that. Then you can edit, you can lock this layer. Okay, let me just use a fresh stock to show you about this so that I don't. Right, so let me select a text graphic design. That is be my first layer. Go and select a shape, give it a color. Second layer. What else should I add here now? Let me select a sticker. Okay, so with this has 3 layers because I have 3 elements here. Okay, with that, like I said, I can hide this. There will be no sticker there again. I can unhide it. The sticker comes back. Then I can lock this. I can move this around now, but once I lock it with that key, I cannot move it freely. So this is very essential in the sense that there are times you want to lock some of your elements so that you can access the other ones. So I can, if this is a text like this text, I can edit it here with this pen icon. I can edit this text and type in any other thing I want to type. Okay, also here I can rotate this text. Rotate. Okay, see, the option is out. Can rotate it. Also, on this edit icon, you can copy this text. Make a copy. So I'll just delete that. Alright, still on the text. Not just on the text, each of these has this edit button. So you can either change the size of this from there, but you don't really need to go to the layer to do all of this. All these options are in the text options. Like this. See the size here. Here. We have size. So we can still resize it from here. If you wish, you go to the layer too. So you can really set your size from here without going to the layer, but you can still use the layer option. I personally don't use that because I don't remember anyway, but it's okay to use it. Okay, so that's it for your text. Increasing and decreasing. You go back to your layer. You can also add color to your text from here. Everything you can do from there, you can still do it on the text interface. So you can bring this to the front or to the back. You can move your text and so on. So this edition is also for the image. You can copy your image. You can resize it here. Then you can rotate it then you can bring it to the front or to the back, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's it for layer section. We are done with the top. Okay, if you look at this icon here, is the edit icon. With this you can edit your shape. If you click on a text and click on it, with it you can edit your text. You can delete whatever you want to delete, select, and you delete, like so. So that's it for the topmost layer. Guys, having finished with the upper layer, we're going down. So we are going to the things below, going to this text here. So when you click on this text, it brings out a lot of options, text options for you. It first of all brings out this box for you where you can input your text. When you double tap on it, you can input your text. Okay, I'm just putting anything there. So if you don't want to double tap on it, you can just come here, click on edit here. When you click on edit, you'll have your text. It opens up to where you can edit your text. Right, so let's start with styles here. Let's just say they're like text effects. There are presets on Pixellab. These are the presets. If you click on one, it applies this text effect on your own text. Let me click on this. So you see my text is taking that style. So Pixellab gives you opportunity to use their presets, or you can set your own style. These are my own styles. Okay, all right, so that's for styles. There are tutorials I have, or I'll still make on how to save a style. For now, we're just having a general overview of Pixellab. So we have looked at this edit icon. This delete is for you to delete something. Let's undo that. Okay, copy is for you to make a copy. Delete that. Okay, so you can bring this to the front or to the back using this or this. This position is for you to move this text. You can increase the move by 20 pixels or even to 1. If you want it to move slowly, take it to 1 and move slowly. Or if you want it to move faster, you take it to 20, or however I want it. Okay, so I'll just undo that. Then this relative position is to position your text or anything you have relatively. So if I click on this, it takes it to the center. This takes it to the right, takes it to the left, takes it up, down, and so on. So this is a faster move, kinda, if you don't want to use your position to. Size is just like the names. To reduce the size, increase the size. Padding, this is very useful. There are some fonts that if you type them, some parts of them get cut off. So with padding you can review the cut off parts, but this font is okay. It's not showing any cut off parts. Okay, let me try a font to illustrate this padding for you. Let me go to the fonts. My fonts. There's this font. Wait. Okay. So you see some parts of this are cut out. With padding now, I'm going to reveal them. It's coming out. So that's what I meant with padding. Okay. All right. So color, you can give this a color. This took the color of the style. So but you can still come and change the color here. The color will change it. Then this is texture. You can give this text a texture by going to your gallery to select a texture. Once you click on this photo, icon here. So it takes you to your gallery where you can give this text a structure, a texture. So it's a very good feature. Use it when you want to design flyers or make them pop up. It's very nice. Then opacity, you can reduce the opacity of this text. You may not see this because this text has a text effect. So let me just delete this text and type in another text. Let's just use this new text. Go to opacity, you reduce it. Okay, so you can reduce this and choose to select affect shadow. Assuming this has a shadow, it will affect the shadow, but this text has no shadow. So rotate. Sometimes you may need to add some swag to your design. You just rotate it, right? Mask. This is used to mask some parts of the text. You can choose to mask in or out. Then you can add more of the masking tool. See, it's double now. By pressing the plus sign, you add more. The masking tool is a very nice tool, both for making logos and creating some effects. Let's say I mask this. I make a copy of this. Come to mask it out, like so. So assuming I give this lower layer a different color, I can give it a different color, give the upper layer a different color. Let's give it with the masking tool you can create lovely text effects, and also you can use it for your logo. With time you also see the use of the masking tool. So I'll just undo all of this. Okay, then we're going to font. Here Pixellab comes with its own fonts. So these are the fonts that came with this Pixellab. Then you can add your own fonts. These are my own fonts. There are websites you can download free fonts online. There's also something about this font. If you want this highlighted font here, the text rather, you can just highlight new, give it a different font, highlight this one, give it a different font. So this comes with two different fonts in one text. So that's one amazing thing too about this. So here you can also add some fonts from here, these icons. You can add your fonts from these folders, from your folder, but I don't want to add the font, so I'll just go back. Then installs the fonts you used recently. So you can just choose one font here and it changes the font of your text. Let's go to style. In style, you can either make this bold, you can italicize it, you can underline it. Okay, then this T here, this crossed T, is for you to cancel all that you have selected. One thing about this is you can select where you want the effects to happen, to apply. This highlighter here, if I just highlight, let's say new, and I press underline, it's only underline new. If I highlight text and press italicize, only text will be italicized. So this is a very nice feature in Pixellab. Okay, so let me cancel that. So we have the curve. This is used when you have a curve or you just want to curve your letters around the circle or maybe your logo. So that's just it. This is for text background. You can give your text a background options. You can change the color to any color of your choice. Then you can pad this up to the left, to the right, up and down. Then you can adjust the radius. You can see the edges of this rectangle is changing, so we can adjust the radius as such. Okay, so you can even give it a gradient color. That's it for the background. So I'll turn this off. Then alignment. Let me type another thing here so that I'll show you what alignment is about. Okay, so this is the text we have. So this could be aligned to the right, in the middle, and to the left. You can justify this. Okay, so that's what alignment is about. For spacing, you have spacing for letters. For the letters, you space the letters. You can reduce it. Then if you do that for words, it will give spacing between the words. Yes, that's just it. Then for line spacing, in between the lines, it gives you space. That's what this does. There are some texts that could be so cluttered together that you need to space them or reduce their spacing if they are too spaced together. Some fonts, rather, I meant to say fonts, not text. So I'll just cancel this. Stroke is to give this a stroke. The default stroke is black, so that's why it's already there, black. You can change the color of the stroke. I can adjust the stroke width, make it big, depending on what you're doing. Sometimes you can reduce it. For the shadow, you can give this a shadow of any color of your choice. You can reduce the opacity of this. You can increase the blur radius or reduce it. You can enable outer glow. Then you can offset this to the left or right using the x-axis. For those of us that are good in mathematics, then the y-axis is up or down. So this shadow is very useful. I find it very useful. It gives life to whatever I'm doing. Okay, but it's not all the time we need shadows, right? So inner shadow. This inner shadow is also very beautiful. It's very beautiful. Let me change the background color so that I'll show you how beautiful it can be. Then I'll change this text color to white, or it can be in black. So let me go to inner shadow, enable it, then I'll change the color to this. So with this inner shadow, you can really create a lot of fun stuffs when you offset it. But this is not really what I wanted to show you. Let me see if I can create what I want to show you. I'll make this. Let me select a white color. I just want to be able to illustrate something to you. Right, so you can see the shadows in between inside this text. So you can even use this for a text effect depending on how you adjust it. So for that, for this design tutorial, I used inner shadow in it. I used inner shadow for it. Let me see this. So I used inner shadow to make it seem as if it's kind of inside or flat. If you look well, you see the inner shadow there. I reduced the opacity of the inner shadow, so it's not that much. Okay, so let's continue with what we were doing. Let me go to my recover autosave so that we can go back to what we were doing. Alright, so back to this inner shadow. I think we are done with that. Alright, so emboss. You can use emboss. It makes your work finer. Most times people use it if they want to mock up their logos on Pixellab. So emboss is also nice. So one thing about this emboss now in higher versions of Android, when you come to emboss, it kind of cracks on what you're embossing, but it majorly happens to shapes. So when you experience that cracking, you just have to turn off the stimulate lighting. I might still show you that. So I want to turn off that emboss off. So this is perspective 2 is what I used in one of my tutorials on YouTube to create a birthday flyer. You can go check that out. So it's very cool in the sense that you can manipulate whatever you want to do. You see that? You can make this seem as if it's lying down on the ground using the perspective tool. So it's a very nice tool in Pixellab. In fact, all the tools in Pixellab are very nice. Okay, this may not be so perfect now. It takes some skills too to use the tool. So as if our text is on the ground. So that's the perspective tool. So let me turn this off. Then we go to 3D rotate. You can rotate this 3D X and Y depending on the design you're making. 3D text, you can turn your text into 3D shape without using the perspective tool or as a perspective view, not to this time around. The view type is either perspective or oblique, right? So you can adjust the depth, you can adjust the color, you can darken this. For this oblique angle, you can change the angle. So but for perspective, there's nothing like that. Okay, this is the lighting angle and so on. You have 3D shadow, makes your work have a 3D feeling. So I want to turn this off. You have reflection and you can adjust how the reflection should be offset. So that's it for the text. Alright, I'm going to delete this text so that I'll forge ahead. We have this icon in the middle, this one here. Sorry, let me remove this. Okay, let me just use I don't know how to show you this now. Okay, here where my tab is in the middle here in the hexagon, that is for shapes. Here you have stickers. I've shown you stickers before. You have import. From here you can import pictures from your gallery, but don't want to go there now. So you can draw. You can draw anything you want to draw. Anything you want to draw. If you know how to draw very well, you can actually draw. This pen tool is very nice. Sometimes I use it to create some designs. Let's say a divide in a flyer. You can increase the pen size, increase this, fill inside. When you draw this way, it gets filled up. It fills up, and you can select it and kind of drag it and use it to divide your flyer design. This is just a rough sketch, so you see what I mean. You can change the color. You can go and change the color, give it any color of your choice and make a cool flyer. So that's it for the draw. So I'm going to delete this. Then you have shapes. When you click on shapes, it brings up the shape. So when you tap here, it gives you other shapes. This is a square now, so this is a circle. You can't see that because the color is white. So let me give it a color. Right, you can choose this. You can select this, any of this. I've shown you these shapes before. So you can reduce the opacity of this shape. You can change the color. I've shown you that before. You can change the stroke width, the opacity of the stroke too. You can reduce it. Okay, you can also change the corners of this stroke. If you look at it now, the corners are changing, so you can see it here. Let me see, just mark how it is, and you have this. Then you can increase the blur radius of the stroke. So that's it for this shape option, for this particular shape option. Coming back to it, please ignore the noise in the background. So this Bezier tool is also a cool tool, similar to the masking tool. Bezier tool, many times they are used for creating a lot of shapes, even logos. It's nice because it is not defined, like this is a square, this is a circle, so you can actually use it to create whatever you want to create because it's not defined. So this Bezier tool is a tutorial on its own. There are lots of things about it that I cannot go into right now because this video is already taking so much time. So just know that it's a tutorial on its own. Excuse me. So with this tool, there are many options here. You can add more. Okay, let me cancel this and show you more clearly. You can add more of this with the plus 2 and subtract with the minus 2. So when you add more of this, you can navigate through them using this other button here. You move to the left, to the right with these buttons. Hope you are seeing where I'm touching. Right, so this number shows you the number you are at. I'm number 5 of this, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1. So I can copy this. Let me put it on move so that I can move it. So right, that's it for the buttons up. Then this Bezier mode, this particular one helps you to add some points. This particular one helps you to move these points, adjust them maybe around the shape. So let's try to move. Let's select another shape here. Let's say a circle. Let's go to the Bezier tool and try to illustrate with it. So let me add another point and then close it up. Then I'll use this and try to make it go around the circle. So when you click on them, you select, then you move them. Try to adjust it around this circle. So with this Bezier tool, you can create your logos. So that's why I'm saying this Bezier tool is another tutorial on its own. It's not something you can finish here now because it's very nice to when you master it. It takes practice to master it. So this particular point is for adjustment. Right, so this is in a circle now. This one is to move this. You can move this. Okay, this particular one. So these actions, with this one I can remove a point. You see, it's now just 2 points, just like you add with this particular one. You add a point with this. If you click anywhere, you add a point. You use this one to remove the point you've added. You use this one to connect them. You use this one to disconnect. Then use this one to scale them, big or small. You use this one to rotate this. Then this is for the stroke width. You can increase it, you can reduce it, you can change the edge. It can be flat, it can be thin, it can be rounded. You can change the opacity of this. So the stroke color, you can change the stroke color, make it transparent. So that's just this about the Bezier tool. Cancel that. So these are arrows in Pixellab. You can change the size, you can change the arrowheads, anyone you want. So you can explore all of this on your own. Okay, so let's go to the shapes properly. When you select a shape and you give it a color, there are options for you to edit the shape with. So here, when you click on this edit, it takes you back to the shape where you can select another one, or change the color, or reduce the opacity, or give it a stroke, or anything you want to do. When you press this, you delete the shape, delete. So let's go back to the shape. When you press this, you crop the shape, crop. When you press this, you copy it, or just delete that. So select the shape back. You can move the shape to the front, you can move it to the back. Position it, you can move this. I've shown you that before for text. Relative position, the same thing. Relative size, you can resize this like this, or you touch it here at this particular big circle, you use it to resize it. If you go this way or this way, it will change, it will alter this shape. But if you want to maintain the dimensions, you resize it like this. Or if you cannot do that, you come to relative size and resize it just like that. The color of the shape can be changed. You can either take a gradient or just use a plain color. So color theory is a course on its own. There are many things in colors. This is the color wheel. Here you can select any color you want. Here is to tint the color to add more white to it. Here is to add more black to it. Here is to reduce the opacity of the color or the transparency. Alright, so for here, this eyedropper here, with this you can pick a color even from any image. Pick a color. With this edit tool here, you can edit this. If you have the color code, you can input color codes of anything in capital letters and numbers. So color is another topic on its own. So that's just it. So the next after color is texture. Here you can give this image a texture. So I want to give to this image. I'll click on it. It gives it on it reflects on the image, on the shape. You can scale this to how you want it to be. The default scale is 100%. You can maintain the ratio. Texture is very nice. It's a very nice tool in editing shapes. So I'll just go and delete that. Opacity, you can reduce the opacity of this. I've talked about this in the text. Color filters, you can change the color of this. Color filter is very, very nice. If you have an image that you want, let me say your background is green in color, you want the image to rhyme with your background, you can always change the hue, change the color here without ruining the image. You change the color and use it. Or you want to blend your background images. Let's say your background is black, you also or green. You have to blend that. You change your image to green too to blend it in. So you increase the saturation, decrease it, increase the brightness, decrease it. It's very nice. So shapes can also have strokes. You can give this a stroke. You can increase the stroke width. You can reduce it. Okay. Then this is eraser. You can erase this shape. You can undo the erase. You can increase the size of the eraser. You can reduce it. You can let me increase it. You Can increase the blurriness of this. You use this when you want to blend your images, so it's blurry now. You can increase the handle of this. It will now have a handle. Let me undo all of this. Undo. Okay, so this is where it increases or reduce the handle. This is very important when you want to use Pixellab to, when you want to delete very minute details. That's when I usually use it. I'll increase the handle so that I can delete the little details around the object I want to use. So let me reduce this. This is for the shapes. You can decide to draw a shape and delete where you want to delete, or use a rectangle already. Delete this, undo, delete this. Can use a square. Sorry, this is a square. Can use a circle. Let me go back to that. Can use a circle to delete this. When you press on this, delete where you selected. When you click on this one, delete where you did not select. So that's just it. So this is the zoom. When you want to delete minute stuffs around the shape, you need to zoom it in properly so that you see what you're deleting and delete it. So I'll just zoom that out, undo. So that's it for the eraser. Most of these tools, they have they need to have their own separate tutorials because there's more to them than meets the eye. I hope that's how it's spoken. So this is a masking tool. This masking tool is very nice for shapes. The masking tool is a very nice tool. You can use it to mask any part of this shape. You can use it to create, let's say, a flyer divide. Assuming I want to place this here to design this. Or if I want to, let me just cancel this. If I want to impute, let's say this is a shape and I want to put another shape, let's say my picture inside this, you also use the masking tool to mask out the parts you don't need. So the masking tool also is a tool to be learned on its own. Erase color. This is used to erase the colors you don't need in an image, because this image has just one color. You may not really notice that, but if you have multiple colors in an image, you can come here and with the color picker here, you select what you want to, the color you want to erase it. As you can see, I selected the red color and it's gone. You can increase the tolerance. You may not see this now because it's just one color here, just one color. If it were multiple colors, you could erase multiple. You can erase a particular color. Let me try and bring in an. So let me try to illustrate this with this image here. You go to erase color. The default color here is white, so whatever that is white, it erases it. Once you go and pick the color you want to erase, let's say you want to erase this dark green, it goes off. So if you want to erase more than one color, you come to the plus sign. You tap the plus sign, take your color picker, pick the second color you want to erase, it goes off. So this is what the erase color tool does. You can increase the tolerance. When you increase the tolerance, it erases it more. You can smoothen the edges. But increasing the tolerance sometimes affects your images. It could make it not to have a good quality. So when you are increasing it, you monitor it and know when you should stop. So I'm just going to cancel this and hide this. So the next thing here is rotate to, you can rotate this. Sorry, this is not selected, it's still selected on the other image. So let me select this. You rotate this anyhow you want. This 3D rotates 3D shape. You may not see this depth because it's a planar object. So but it has depth there. If you rotate it now, you see the depth. Let's go and rotate it so that you see. Sorry, you see the depth of this. Can you see that? So it has a depth. It's like 3D shape now. Okay. So that is it. Then you can darken the depth. You can rotate it here. You have the Z rotation. This is stimulate lightning. You can you may not see it on this particular shape shot. So further adjustments here. So I'll just undo that. Then we have inner shadow too. The same as the inner shadow I showed you before. Inner shadow. You can increase the blur radius, reduce it, increase it, and offset this to the X and Y axis. So you see how this thing looks like it's a hollow. It's hollow. That's the power of shadow. But the blackness, is there anything like blackness? Well, if there is, then accept it. If there's none, just help me with that. It's too much, it's too blackish, so I want to reduce the opacity of this. It seems to be gone. It's like it's too opaque, so let me go back. So that is it. It's no more that blackish, but you can still see the inner shadow there. Emboss, the almighty emboss. So emboss makes your stuff glitter, makes it so nice. So if yours is cracking, you can just, or maybe this is not the part that cracks. Okay, let me try if it's the part that cracks. Let me check this 3D shape and know if it is the part that cracks. Okay, it's not. So emboss is nice. It makes your work look nice. It's used for further addition of shapes. So I'll just undo all of these effects. So that's it for your shape. Let's go to the background. This is the background. You can change the background color. You can use a gradient. You can make your background transparent. If you want to save your work as a PNG file, as a file without background, you can use this one. You can resize your image here. I've shown you that before. You can crop your background. If I imported a background, I can crop it here. But because I didn't import one, it's not selecting. You can choose your background from your gallery. You can choose from this image, this default background. I scarcely use this. You can choose from your background, from your gallery. You can choose from your camera. So this is a magic wand. I call it magic wand. Similar to that in Photoshop. You can rotate this magic wand is for editing the background. If you notice, this is flipping to different sides when you click on this rotate. When you click on magnet, it gives you kind of a color towards the edges. You can change the color of these magnets. You can adjust it, make it smaller, make it bigger. It helps you to focus on a particular item. So let me turn, okay, I've turned it off. Noise adds noise to your background. So everything you're doing with the magic wand is for your background. Stripes to your background. brightness, increase the brightness or reduce the brightness of your background. Contrast, increase the contrast, reduce the contrast. Hue, change the color of your background. You can do it with this. Saturation, so whatever you want to edit on your background, you use this magic wand. So guys, that's it in summary for Pixellab. Thank you so much.